again, my friends, and you are my friends, each and every one of you, the 3,036 wonderful people who subscribe to this platform. You are my friends, and I love you all very much. Thank you for your kind words of get well. Hope you're good, Gov. I appreciate all of those, but we're here tonight. It is firework night, and we're on the eve of the Ian Marshall Derby. Town versus Oldham. We'll also keep you up to date with another FA Cup round one game going on this evening. Of course, a little affair down the road from me involving AFC Sudbury and Colchester United. It is, of course, sadly just gone 1-0 Colchester for those that have rightfully said in the chat. But I'll keep you up to date on how Dob was playing, on how Sudbury are doing. Hopefully they can turn it around and the magic of the cup can come true. We get some wonderful artwork on the screen because I can hear our designer somewhere screaming, "Get my art on the screen," and so he should. It is beautiful art all of the same. So we're here tonight for those that perhaps do not know what we do on a Friday night, just to break down Paul Cook's press conference. And I asked the Talking Town family, the contributors, the live chat, what do you think he really means with this? Or what do you think of this? Or what do you think that is? So get involved. We are still doing, although one technically is ongoing. So if you've not yet entered, it is a little bit late for one of the games, but the Prediction League is still in play. FA Cup weekend, excluding Norwich, who of course play Brentford this weekend. Links in the chat. Get involved. While you do that, I will bring in somebody who may have just seen. If you're a big boxing fan, you would have seen it just a second ago. If you've not seen it, have no idea what I'm talking about. The TKO Talking Boxing is now available. Canelo versus Plant versus Canelo. Who's going to win? I asked this man to break it down, and he did. So make sure you catch up with him. 2-0. Freddie Sears has scored a goal. Do not adjust your screens. Do not adjust your lives. Freddie Sears has scored a goal.
Oh, Freddie. It's like the golden days again, isn't it?
It is. Oh, win or lose, Freddie Sears, we're on the board.
Freddie's found his level now, isn't he? League Two, all playing against non-league opposition. Oh, fair play to him.
Yeah.
Rich met him one time, didn't he? So he was a really good lad. So
yeah, great guy though, Freddie. Yeah, great guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a good goal to be fair. Touch, hit, that's it. Game over, tie over. How are you, Matt? It's been about a minute since the last time I saw you.
I spoke to you. Yeah, I've had a costume change since. No, I'm all good. It was good chatting about the boxing. I'm looking forward to that.
So have I.
And
I went downstairs for a glass of water and spilled half of it down my front.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the boxing tomorrow and looking forward to the FA Cup, a competition close to my heart because I used to work on that for a few years.
Absolutely. I did wonder how long it'd take for you to drop the FA Association into the show. For those on the sweepstake that had 4 minutes and 20 seconds, because of a round of applause, you have correct. It took him all of that long, and he's only on the show for 10 seconds. So it depends where you want to take your
Stewards inquiry needed there, I think.
Absolutely. We've got Owen, always like Freddie, got his goal scoring talents coached out of him. It seems. I just think he was okay. It was flash in the pan.
He was really good when he joined, wasn't he? Mick bought him on the back of that run at Colchester, and then he looked really good. I always think back to that. Do you remember the Birmingham game midweek? I think it was 4-2. He scored 2 really cool goals, real sort of clinical goals. Yeah, and then we just bunged him on the wing, and I think he lost confidence. Became sort of a nothing player then, didn't he?
Well, yeah, he did a little bit, to be fair. As it's so close to your heart, obviously this week's Prediction League is an FA Cup special, excluding the bottom one. AFC Sudbury Colchester isn't playing right now, but what would you go with a little bit of a derby if we're classing Cambridge, which is a derby, Northampton and Cambridge?
I have done this already. I did this earlier in the week. I think I said Northampton 2, Cambridge 1. I think that's what I went with. I mean, listen, I'm at the bottom with 0 points. Don't be listening to me.
No. In fact, take it, reverse it, and go the other way. But you think Cobblers going to win it?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, in that case, let's all digest that shock, and it is one, and bring in the other hard truth component. I'm not sure you deserve that introduction, to be fair, because we need to get this out in the open, get it out nice and early. Tell the people at home, perhaps who are not on social media, what you have purchased, what you have got in your possession to be a referee. What on earth?
Mike Dean.
What on earth?
Describe them, Rich, for people listening. What colour are they?
Rather red.
Solar red, you said to me earlier.
Yeah,
Solar red.
I think Hawks tweeted me. He said, they're like Mo Salah.
They're good.
Yeah.
I like them.
Yeah,
Christmas
that's
present.
great.
My mum got them for me. Ordered them last night. They were here today.
Rich,
That's
that'd be
great service.
great if you were playing as Mo Salah. But you're the referee, man. You're
Don't worry
supposed
about
to be
it.
inconspicuous.
Don't worry about it.
That is shocking. I want to know.
Amy says it's pink. It's not pink. It's red.
Pink's one of
Solar
my
red
favourite
ain't
colours. So if it
apparently
was
red.
pink, I'd be all in love with it. As a
Does look
player,
good.
I'd like to know what the chat think. If you were playing, if you were playing tomorrow and you stepped foot onto the pitch and then the referee walked out of the changing room wearing those, what would you be thinking or saying about the referee? Because I'd be thinking, fuck, this guy's going to be in it for himself every 5 minutes. Oh, look at me. I've blown my whistle. I'm in charge here, not you.
It's not. Everyone's saying it's pink. Everyone's saying it's pink. They are not pink. Mike D saying that midlife crisis earring next. I used to have an earring.
Yeah, but I would just, Matt, help me out here. Surely you'd be thinking, this guy's going to make it all about me. All about himself.
Oh, yeah. They'll go, that's that Crunher guy from Talking Town. The Talking Town lot. That's that guy.
Yeah, actually, Matt, when I ordered them, you can have your name put on them now. You can have your little flag. I was actually going to get it on the... And then I thought, no, maybe not.
You should have
Boy
gone
Clark, poser. I'd just be thinking he's going to be blowing his whistle every 5 minutes. Every decision will be, go away, no conversation. I've made the decision, go away. I hate refs like that, Crunch, where you can't talk to them. I want to say to the referee,
Talk to me. Talk to me, come on.
Not with those fucking boots, you can't.
Matching pink man bag, says Bod the Nod.
Hey, I've got many pink shirts in the cupboard. Nothing wrong with pink.
No, indeed.
It's the fact
that was refereeing white boots tomorrow.
Yes, he is. Yeah. I just never seen a referee wear bright red boots before. But there we go. I mean, even as a playing days, man, I had black boots.
Callie's just come in. Callie, just for you, look, Callie. There you go.
Thank you, Callie. Yes, I will try my best. So let's see how we go. But
you're wearing shades to Cruncher as well, I reckon.
Are they long laces? Like, because when I used to play, I used to have boots that had the old-fashioned long laces, wrap them round.
You have to wrap round.
Yeah.
Not really.
No, see, that's not.
Is that not a thing anymore? People just it's like your trainers, is he? Just do them up and that's it.
Yeah, I had to ask for extra long laces every time I bought boots because I wanted to old-fashioned, like my dad used to do when I was a kid. He used to do the boots up, wrap them around. I love that's quality.
Underneath the soles.
Yeah,
I remember that. I think I had a pair of Patrick boots when I was about 10 or 11.
Patrick,
they had long laces. Patrick.
Never heard of Patrick.
Are you one of these guys who clean his boots straight away? You'll get home, you've got the brush because you've got to keep them looking pristine in the solar red, right?
You can get a proper brush now.
Can you?
Yeah. Did you ever heard of Patrick? You must have heard of Patrick boots, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, he's the same age as me.
Theodora's when I was a kid. But
Theodora, yeah.
I used to hand it to my dad. He used to clean them for me, even right up till I was playing him as an adult. So there you go. Again, that silver spoon does not belong here. Callie, are those boots for evening games with no floodlights or for the snow so you can see them from the A14? Amy used to have silver dot marks with rainbow laces. She was 11. Was still cooler than Crunch.
No chance. Not cooler than me.
McBain. Power will go to his head. Yes. Oh, you've met Cruncher then, Chris. Power goes straight to this man's head.
No chance.
It's why he loses control of so many games.
Never lose control of any games.
Bollocks. My first boots were George Best's. Did George Best know you had his boots? That seems quite a thing to have. Right, Josh Russell will cheer extra loud for you, Colin. Oh, yeah, Colin's not well, is he? He's missing tomorrow's game.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Hopefully back for Oxford, fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. He's obviously missing a...
Yeah, Michael Laudrup. He played in Patrick boots, Matt.
Did he?
Yeah.
Good player, Laudrup. Good team.
He was good player. His brother was good as well. Brian.
86 Denmark. Very good team. In Hummel. Another one of our favourite brands.
Yeah, great. Like that.
They weren't quite the De Boers, though, were they?
Better.
No. What's your mouth out?
Frank
and Ronald De Boer? No chance. No chance.
I'm taking the Laudrups over them too.
I'm taking the De Boers every day of the week. Every day of the week. How are you Crunch? Laudrups or De Boers?
Have you got that picture for me?
What?
Well, I did send it to you. I got permission off the certain person to use it.
Yes, let's keep talking. Give me a moment. Keep
If
talking.
anyone's on social media and seen this picture, you're not allowed to play. You are disqualified. If anyone gets it within about 2 seconds, Matt, we know that they've been on social media and they've seen this picture.
Colin
It's a
was
wonderful
loving this.
picture from about, I think it's 1975, of a certain person,
Keep talking.
and you have to guess who it is.
But Lee Brown in the chat, I am drinking Merlot tonight. I am drinking Merlot.
Are you really on the Merlot, not on the away days?
I've got Merlot. I've gone for it was slightly bigger than this earlier. I've gone for a Wickham 1, Ipswich Town 4 size pour. So.
And what are you on there, Crunch? Are you also not? You're on the coffee. Okay. Well, in that case, you can of course get some wonderful beers from our friends at awaydaybeers.com.
New one out, Martin?
They have well, Crunch knows more about it than I do. He's always got a sniff for a freebie.
Box to box bitter. I think Josh is launching his subscription soon, isn't he, Martin?
He is. We're in discussions about how we're going to sort of tell the people about that at the moment. But it sounds exciting from what what Josh has told me about it. So really looking forward to that.
I think he's down in Essex tomorrow. He's doing a Christmas fairs, isn't he?
He's at the Brentwood Centre. I went to a wedding fair once there. Yeah.
Chris McBain, De Boers all day long. Somebody else who knows their onions. Lee Brown, coffees for mornings. Amy's got Poldark on pause to watch you tonight, gents. You are honoured.
Hold on.
Please. Look into this. Look. Much better than Poldark. All right.
Get a haircut.
I have.
And a beard trim.
And a beard trim. And I've also had some really bad news today. So it's a bit of a mixed day. My barber is going to be... Oh, wait, I don't think he's telling anybody else yet. Oh, shit, hang on. Wait, scrap that. That don't exist. You didn't hear nothing. You didn't hear nothing from these lips. Nothing's gone on. Right. I've got some pictures.
Here we go.
Here we go. Picture number 1.
Look at that.
Who is that?
A young lad.
Two.
Yeah, look at that. Beautiful.
As Colin said, like a young Trevor Wymer.
Love that kit.
Great kit.
Long sleeves as well, Matt.
Yeah.
Like I remember having a long sleeve Ipswich top when I was younger. Can't get those now, can you? Shame.
Some say it's the last time you went to Portman Road. Get that kit. Some. I say some. That's not me. I'm not those people.
Who is it, everybody? Put it in the old comments there. Come on.
Callie says Rich or Colin.
No.
I would not see Colin though, as a he's a young man in his football kit. The mini goat. We've got Mike. Alex Wilson says Mike Brown. Mike D says Crunch may as well drink coffee all night. The brightness of those boots will keep him up anyway.
Caddy thinks it's me. I did have hair like that. I did have hair like that, to be fair.
Now, listen,
and Amy.
He's already far too tall for Matt.
Legs got some great pins on him.
Yeah.
Even at that age. Owen, love to get my boy a top like that. It's great. Matt says Amy Downs, and Mike Bram says Mike Bram. We'll get those comments in. While you do, we'll go to the first. I want to go back really to Wickham, if I can, Max. I know we've not spoken to you post that. Cookie sort of said after the game that, or said in general, he said this. I think after going a goal behind, we know in football there are no secrets, and Wickham are very strong here. They put you under ridiculous pressure. We know that. We knew the first 10 minutes would be difficult, and it was. We were good tonight, good at Portsmouth, and I felt at stages that we were right. We've got a habit of doing bad things in games at bad times. It's something if we to be a better team, we must eradicate, and I felt we did that tonight. Bad habits, not just an Ed Sheeran song, obviously. We have often followed. Do you like that? Do you like that? I was quite good. Yeah, we've often followed up the Doncasters, the Portsmouths, and the Wickhams with a goose egg. Now, we're not playing tomorrow, so we can't. Well, we are, but not in the league.
No.
How do we keep those Tuesday night specials rolling into the weekends? Like, because he says bad habits there. It's true, isn't it? We've got some bad habits at the moment.
Certainly, I mean, Rich phoned me from the motorway on the way back, jubilant with the crunch punch in the back of the car. It was great. Good chat for 20 odd minutes. But we were saying on the phone, weren't we, Rich? Very much that Wickham goal, that Wickham goal was almost a carbon copy of the Cambridge one, wasn't it? Where it was a ball to the back post. You know, someone's out jumped 2 Town players. It's gone back into the middle, and on this occasion, he volleyed it in rather than volleyed it in rather than headed it in. So that was a bit frustrating to see. You know, I have no problem really with Ipswich making mistakes as long as they learn from them. But that was almost a carbon copy of that. Of how we lost points at Cambridge, but. Yeah, how do you take it in? I mean, you said very much on the show on Tuesday night, didn't you, mine? Like, has this FA Cup game come along at the wrong time? Because suddenly you got all the momentum in the league, and then we'll come to this, won't we? are a lot of those players going to sit down, not play, sit on the bench? You bring in a Scott Fraser, bring back Connor Chaplin. You know, is it a momentum killer a little bit? Potentially it is.
So okay, fair point. But after Wickham, how just grab your thoughts very quickly on it. How did you see it, and obviously how impressed were you that we weathered that early storm?
Yeah. It was. I mean, look, we did say on here that we thought we could get something out of the game. No way did I envisage us hitting 4. I know Matt Stannard tongue cheek put 5-1, didn't he? But I think I always thought probably we would get the win at Plymouth, and then we would try and see what you can get at Wickham, considering what their home record was, and they'd come down from the Championship. It's reversed the other way. We got the defeat at Plymouth, and we've stuck 4 past Wickham. By the way, we could easily have stuck 4 past Plymouth. And imagine that if you'd taken 6 points and scored 4 goals in both. Unfortunately,
that's the frustration, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
like you could have said that the week before with Cambridge. Imagine we'd taken 9 instead of 7. That's always been the frustration. But Crunch, obviously, you went to the game on Tuesday. Cook said this. They've probably been at work today, probably since 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and they've travelled across in hope. The first goal goes in, and you know the feeling. We all know it. Like we said to our lads at halftime, the best performance you can give are when you come from behind and win, especially at grounds like this. Obviously, first of all, what time did you go to work the next morning? 4, 5 or 6?
I was actually off Tuesday and Wednesday because I planned it around. So I'd work the weekend, so I planned it around that away game. So. You
sounded tired the next morning.
I think until 2. When I done that video, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was absolutely knackered. My voice was hoarse. But they are the best. I don't know. You follow your team on the road, Martin, and then you get them the result. Look, Wickham Wanderers. If you had a season ticket to watch that every other week, no chance. Awful football. Awful. Look, effective. They're effective what they do. Fair play to them, but. I couldn't sit there and watch it. I could not sit there and watch that all the time. Long balls, free kicks.
He was on Sky the next night, wasn't he, Rich?
He gave Ipswich quite a good rap, didn't he, Ainsworth? Yeah. I like him. I think he's done a really good job there. And he sort of fits that club, doesn't he, I think?
Yeah.
The underdog. Be interesting to see where he goes next, because he can't stay there forever. But it's interesting. Like D said, he said about 2 of the goals, he was blaming the pitch because it was frosty.
Have you seen this? Matt Stannard, Crunch. My brother ended up coming home as they couldn't find a car parking space. Fucking hell, he's gone on that way, Matt. I'll dump it, mate. Just dump it.
Yeah, it's at the end of an industrial area, and it's like, that's what, look, people said to me, don't park at the ground, you'll never get out. Yeah, but you had a guaranteed parking space there, and like I said to you, mine, we went around and see the players, and that I went around with Callie.
Good, yeah.
And I weren't really worried because I wasn't working the next day, so I thought, I'll get home when I get home, and it was well worth it.
Yesterday, Matt, I was reading an Athletic article that had Sunderland as the best supported club at League One, right?
Yeah.
Now, we have recently found out we smashed the record. Over 4,500 iFollow passes were bought midweek for the Wickham game. Can we now finally lay challenge to that Athletic claim that Sunderland is the most supported club?
I feel that's probably, well, I mean, because it's a bit lazy, that, isn't it? Because they have got the Stadium of Light. It's a huge venue. They do have a big fan base. I do get it. But, I mean, Ipswich are just travelling in great numbers. I mean, what was this at Adams Park? Was their biggest crowd in, 20 years? Midweek?
Just under 7,000, wasn't it?
Fantastic. And we were, 1,900 of that? Almost 2,000 of that?
1,900 in our end, Matt. And I know there's a few people dotted around in their sort of areas. So
it's great. I mean, look, Ipswich fans do travel in great numbers. I've been a bit critical in the past. I don't like the fact we keep turning up when things aren't panning out how it should be. Sometimes I feel like we should. That's my inner ultra. Feels like sometimes we should boycott it. But I mean, what great scenes! The 4-1. Selena's taking his shirt off. He's swinging around his head. The fans are running down it. It's great to see. And these moments have been few and far between over the last 20 years, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Few and far between. Truly few and far between. Talking of which, obviously this week we have 2 cup games, and both finals in the competitions are held at Wembley. So, first of all, Rich, let's focus on Tuesday if we can for a moment, because Colchester is a winner-take-all match. Obviously, they're playing right now, and it just seems a lot more winnable than the FA Cup as a whole. I think you'll probably agree with that. Just how important is it for the club and for you as a fan, and for the area, I guess, that we sort of progress, both both cups, but more so maybe Tuesday night. Carl Edwards was speaking to the press, and he had this. We didn't win the game, and there's nothing I enjoy more than having a chance to go back to Wembley, and this time being a winner. That's something every footballer wants to do, have the big day at Wembley. So if we can push on against Culture on Tuesday, you never know how things will work out. So how big is it for you as a fan? Or isn't it big? How big is it for the area, for the club, to have these competitions that, particularly Tuesday, that are winnable cups?
I just think at the minute it's that feel-good factor that we've got. Everyone seems to be pulling in the same direction. I know, look, it is the Papa John's. It's not the be-all and end-all. And we went to the forum, didn't we, Martin? And Cookie told us where it's sat, sort of in the season. But you've got a game there against Colchester on your own turf, which you should really win. Winner take all. You should win it, and then you get through. I think it still stays regionalised, doesn't it? The next round. But yeah, there's games there to win. Keep that winning run. Keep that momentum. I know it's going to be different players, but I think at the minute, like tomorrow, we'll probably chat about what team he plays. But I think at the minute, whoever plays, they're going to want to impress. Look at Connor Chaplin in the last round. He played at Gillingham.
But as a fan, is it important to you?
Yeah, I want to win. Like Matt said before, last season, we're one of the, Matt, 5 or 6 teams who's never been to the new Wembley.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Give the fans a day out.
Should we be a bit embarrassed? Not because we're in it, but although that is a bit of an embarrassment thing, but more so because we've allowed West Ham kids to go through. Because I feel if you're going to be complaining about the Premier League teams using it as a competition just to bring youngsters through, and it's not something that we want. Football league clubs like us, Colchester and Co, should do a lot more to make sure they do not progress from the group stages. Surely, because by them progressing, it's a sign that it's added to the competition, is it not?
I feel like we've probably treated some of those games against them under 21 teams from the Premier League like training games. I mean, the West Ham game was almost unwatchable, wasn't it? It was like them testimonial matches where the tempo is so slow, barely. And by the way, we're paying a tenner to watch this. Still one of my bugbears. Why that can't be thrown in on your season ticket, I don't know, for a stream. But I do feel like
should we collectively, every time a Premier League team's under 23s goes through, be a little bit shameful?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, you saw Salford, I think, were playing Leeds under 21s or 23s or whatever it was in the week, and I think they stuck 5 past them. So that is, the measure is that really you should be beating these, and the facts remain we lost to Arsenal last season.
We did.
And you remember that, don't you?
The famous consequences.
We'll never forget that clip.
And then West Ham this season. So I would like to see us get to Wembley. If there's one team that sits in a list of they've never done something, it's typically Ipswich, isn't it? Not been to New Wembley along with a host of other clubs. So I'd like to see us break that, just to give the fans a day out. Give us something. We haven't had anything for years.
What do you say to people like Anthony Still then, Rich? And they're not just Ant, there's many fans. I'm a little bit like him. Still couldn't care less about the Pizza Cup.
What's your view on it? What's your view, Martin?
Mine? It's embarrassing that we're in it. I
get that.
Flying.
But we are where we are. We are where we are.
We are. Yeah, and where we are is a competition that we should be winning, or at least progressing to a semi, a final, whatever it might be, but we should be going further than the group stages. Like, if you're in it, you may as well chalk it off and add it to your list of trophies that the club's won. It's not one that you're ever going to get out and parade around Portman Road in 20 years' time. But
we've got the squad depth for it to challenge. I do feel like if you get through the groups and then maybe the next round, then you could start playing a bit more of a serious.
I think regardless of even having this year, last year was embarrassing enough as it was. You should always progress out of the groups, because in your group is a League 2 side, an under 23 side, and then one other. Obviously, this year, both years it's been Gillingham. You should always progress. Now, last year we could have progressed and we didn't. We should have done but didn't. And again this year, winner take all. The minimum should be a progression from the group stage, because even your youngsters should be better than Gillingham's youngsters and Cold U's first team / younger players. Absolutely categorically. But after that, it's a say la vie.
If we got to the final, Rich, we would take 40,000. You're telling me that Ipswich fans ain't going to go to Wembley for that final? They would.
It was the other year when it went. I think Matt Sunderland played Pompey, didn't they? And they had 40,000 each. Yeah. Because This is look. If you get to the FA Cup final, you wouldn't get 40. Look, I think we're getting a bit carried away if I said we're going to get to the FA Cup final, but you wouldn't get that amount of tickets, would you?
FA Cup final.
I
think I saw on Statman's Twitter the other day. We've not won an FA Cup game since Jim Majump was in charge. So
no,
I mean,
Lincoln away is the only FA Cup game.
Lincoln, of course. Goal. Yeah,
that's 2010. I was there. Yeah. I can say I was at that game.
Well, let's focus on winning a round before we talk about reaching a final. But Chris McBain, FA Cup is one we want to progress in, not the garlic bread oven glove trophy.
But there you go. So are you telling us, Chris, if we get to Wembley, you won't be in the queue to get a ticket? This is the thing, Matt, about all these people saying, "Oh, don't give a shit about this." They'll all be at Wembley.
That's a bit different. Well, yeah, because that's more the experience. It's your club at Wembley. That's a little bit different, but to get there.
But what you want from the FA Cup is to try and get to the third round. So you've got, like when we went to Man United in the League Cup and that, you want to be able to get to some, you're probably going to get pumped. We were talking about the other week, weren't we? Got lost 7-0 with Chelsea in the FA Cup. But just, again, the sense of occasion. It gets very run of the mill sport in Ipswich, doesn't it, over the last 20 years? There's been no sense of occasion. That we had that one time when we got to the League Cup semi-final and beat Arsenal at home. You want more of these moments. Moments, really.
All right, on to Oldham then. And obviously, you've used to work for the FA, as you've mentioned on a number of occasions. Carl Edwards had this to say: the FA Cup excites me a lot. You see the upsets, you see lower league teams take on teams from higher level, which, by the way, that's now us. Reality check, but there we go. And turning them over is a competition where anything can happen, and I'm always excited to play in it. This is a game where we should be able to show our quality. Our league form has been good recently, and if we can take it out to the FA Cup, it should limit Oldham's hopes of causing an upset. Does it excite you then? We're talking about,
Hang on, Amy. I don't know what game Amy was watching because it wasn't 7-1 at Chelsea. It was 7-0.
It was. You see, well, maybe it was a long time ago.
It was 7-0. Amy had too many wines by that stage, I reckon.
You'll remember I was on the brandy after that game.
Is it a cup that, and for parking your FA allegiance, is it a cup that excites you? Is it a cup that really means a lot to you? And where is our target? Where should the target be? Second round, third round, fifth round? Where should the target be?
Yeah, I think third round should be the target. Certainly when you're starting at this stage in the first round where you are playing either teams around you or from the non-league. Like we were saying before we came on now, I'd like to have been playing Sudbury tonight. I think that would have been great. But just for a sense of occasion within the region, the East Anglian region. But, it is what it is. We've got Oldham. I do feel like the FA Cup, and this is a conversation we used to have behind closed doors at Wembley, it has lost its sheen because of the Champions League. And kids these days have been brought up with the Champions League. You'll remember, Rich, when we were kids, the only live game you ever saw in a season was the FA Cup final, wasn't it? On a Saturday afternoon.
Didn't you love it, Matt, when it was FA Cup, when you were younger, FA Cup final the day?
Yeah.
Make a whole day. You get the team going to Wembley on the bus. You get the song.
The coaches.
See, when it lost the shine for me is when Man United that time went and played in that club.
World Club Cup. Yeah.
That was teams just.
It was great. Everything's so accessible now, isn't it? You've got the social media. We didn't have that back then. You've got multiple channels now. You've got rolling sports news, 24/7, Sky Sports News, wherever it might be. We had none of that back then. And to be on the coach, to see the players was like a great thing. I remember when Brighton played Man United, what was it, 83, 84, around that time? Brighton travelled by helicopter. So the BBC and ITV were in the helicopter with them. And they touched down near Wembley and got in.
Wow.
It was great. But this was huge stuff back then. Like I say, this was the only live game you saw. So that's what we loved the FA Cup because that's what we were brought up to watch as a live thing. If you went to games, you didn't see football on TV. So
the thing is though, that you say it's the only game, but like the Grand National is still special in the horse racing calendar because the TV companies have kept it special. You still got the all day build up. You still got the night before build up. Like the FA Cup these days is a marginalised evening game where it's just sort of a. Oh,
yeah, by the way, the Grand National now, Martin's been moved, the time. That's later. It's about 4 or 5 o'clock. The FA Cup should always be the final, 3 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah, but it's been moved because of the TV schedule. Isn't it like a bit of a Sky? It could be anybody. So one channel showing Chelsea, Arsenal, or a Champions League tie. And, by the way, on ITV or whatever, you can watch the FA Cup final.
Well, they worked out. This was a big thing we had. They worked out that 5 o'clock, 5:15, whatever it might be, is a great time for global audiences because, in the States, you're 4 or 5 hours back on the East Coast and 8 back on the West Coast. You roll forward into the United Arab Emirates, which is a couple of hours ahead of us. and into Asia. It was just like the perfect time. But, we're all purists. We like 3 o'clock. But it's a global game. It's got a global audience.
I wouldn't mind any time, as long as it was the only game on that day.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because how often is it no longer the only game of the day?
Sometimes you've got the playoff games there. That just shows you how big the schedule is now, isn't it? Playoff game. Again, we didn't have that back in the day. It was just promotion, wasn't it? But...
as that still says, Rich, semi-final should be played at neutral grounds. The Highbury's, the Villa Parks, the Old Traffords. Not
Highbury? They're going Fleetwood.
All right. You know what I mean? You know.
You look at the stadiums they've got now. The ones in London hold 60,000, so you could quite easily have a semi-final at Manchester. Old Trafford 75,000. There's no need to play at Wembley.
The reason being that Wembley cost a shitload of money, 700 million. So they need to make that money back, and they have to have as many games as possible there, and that's why they're there. That's the long and short of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but still, it kept it special, didn't it? It really sort of.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
So are we all agreed? Third round is the target. Is Rich? Do you agree with Matt there? Third round?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be minimum.
Yeah.
And then, like he said today, Cookie, you want to be waiting when that third round draws on and hoping that you get a big boy, wouldn't you? Norwich at home.
I really enjoyed that FA Cup game. I don't think it was just third round. You'll know, Rich, when we played Bolton and we lost 3-1, didn't we? But they had like Herrera and Campo before he joined us. And
that was.
Do you remember that game?
2003, was it?
Yeah.
The King says semi-finals is the target. What do you think of that one? Semi-finals.
Well, you never know. Who knows? It's a bit much, that. But I just want to see. I'd like to see this squad of players against a good Premier League side, just to see how we or really our high-flying Championship side, or Bournemouth or someone, or Fulham, just to see how we match up. Because we've all got aspirations to get into the Championship. Let's see how we would actually get on against them.
I wouldn't be that upset if we got knocked out tomorrow.
Are you on our row? We're all sitting together tomorrow. I think Martin's
you will
on our
be.
row. Yeah.
You wait for the meltdown if we lose.
Yeah.
And he'll be moaning.
No meltdown at all. No meltdown at all. None whatsoever. I'm not one of these people that subscribe to the. I think if a run happens, it can be good things for the football club.
Yeah.
And it is those habits we were talking about earlier. But if we lose, I'm not going to be sort of upset. It's an annoyance.
I don't think we should be so blasé, Martin. This is part of our history, the FA Cup, where when we talk about what happened back in that. Look, I was talking to Colin in the week, and he remembers going to Bristol Rovers in the snow. You remember that, Matt? 2-0 down at Eastfield. Come back to 2-2. He went to Shrewsbury in the Cup, and it's little things like that. We shouldn't just think, it doesn't matter if we lose. It's another game that we want to win. Come on. Where's that winning mentality?
I want to win it.
You're a winner. You like
great shakes, are they? They third or fourth from bottom in League Two.
Yeah.
So they ain't exactly great shakes, are they?
I think you just the longer you go in this competition, as we have with not winning a game, the longer or the more prone you can be as a fan to be blasé with it. I'm struggling to remember any real FA Cup victories in my lifetime that stand out.
Yeah,
certainly since the turn of the millennium.
You've been sold this myth that you could only compete on one trophy, which is certainly McCarthy's way. It was certainly Lambert's way. But clubs do win. Clubs do compete over 2-3 trophies. You see Man City do Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup. Then across 4 trophies. We have got the squad depth now to be able to do that. Albeit not in a competition as high level as the Champions League. But I don't get this. You can only compete in one competition. I think it's stupid. Your brain is sort of thinking, we can't play those players in case they get injured on Saturday. Well, they could get injured in training.
They could.
That's what I don't like, Matt, about the FA Cup. When you'll get sort of a team in the middle of the Premier League in no threat of relegation.
Yeah.
Third round day, they'll change the whole 11.
Like a Newcastle, for example, been taken over. They've done nothing for God knows how many years, not won a trophy or anything. They're the kind of teams that should be getting to the FA Cup final for me. Your Newcastles and teams of that ilk. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, show some ambition, for crying out loud. You ain't going to win the champ. You ain't going to get in the Champions League. You ain't going to get in the FA. You ain't going to win the Premier League. Show some ambition in the cups.
Roy Clark, well said, Matt. Mike D, as soon as Fergie's pulled United out, it died a lot. That's the Club World Championships. I remember that. That sticks out to me. But yeah, I just think and I'm obviously in my early 30s. There'll be fans after me that have never seen really any cup success, and the longer it goes on the football club, the more you become this. Why
are you going tomorrow then if you're not that bothered about losing?
To do the show.
It must be with us.
To do the show. I enjoyed doing the show. I enjoy talking to you guys and girls.
Lee Bayliss. Big shout out to Lee Bayliss tomorrow. Coming down from Oldham.
People like Lee.
Down for 45 years and he's never been to Bournemouth Road.
This is it. People like Lee, if he can do it, then I should absolutely have no excuses not to.
Yeah.
That said, if I didn't do the platform, if I perhaps didn't do the show, would I be going tomorrow? Possibly not. Maybe not. I mean, I've got 1,000,001 things I could be doing. I mean, it is the breeding season coming up for those that know about my hobby. You laugh, but I've got 1,000,001 jobs coming out of my ear rolls in that garage. I've got the wife nagging on about something or other half the time. FA Cup first round against Oldham. Does it excite me? Does it get me feeling in the bottom of my stomach?
She thought you got a blank weekend, didn't she?
She did. Exactly. Exactly. It's a matter of time of heard. You're not going to football this weekend, are you? Yeah. Oh. It's like constant repeat conversation. But I've got a firework display in the evening. Give me something to enjoy tomorrow, all right? That's all I'm going to ask.
That's really annoying. Fireworks. They should just have it on one night.
I've got them going.
Yes.
You might be able to hear me. Got them going on behind me at the moment.
Same here. Paul Cook had this to say about the FA Cup. I think historically, everyone remembers every cup final day, how it used to be, how the cameras used to be on the coach going to the stadium, the fans, the build up to those finals, the semi-finals, which I don't think is particularly correct being at Wembley personally. Obviously, he says, I'm now Ipswich manager. I know how much the cup means to our supporters, and that will be reflected in the team selection. So that brings me on to how we think tomorrow may go. I said in my Suffolk One article, which you can read with the link in the chat, the only thing I've really found, I found our inconsistencies this season to be our downfall. So if Paul Cook was to send the exact 11 out to face Oldham with a repeat the win mindset, how unlikely that is, I'd more than welcome it. Well, he's going to take it a little bit strong, if you like, or he recognises the value in it. So what are your starting 11s? Do you expect a strong lineup or more of a Newport where, if I remember rightly, he said it'll be a strong lineup and then it was not a strong lineup, but it's a way of sort of talking up the rest of the squad and giving them a little pat on the back of, you're good players.
He's expecting 15,000 tomorrow, Cookie.
Is he really?
We were estimating 8 to 10, weren't we? Yeah. Well, I mean, I still think Cook made a mistake in that Newport game because we were at the start of this gelling process, weren't we? And we've drawn 2-2 with Morecambe with a 90th minute equaliser. And he changed to the 11. He should have kept that 11 for me. We might have gelled a bit quicker and be higher up the table, but there you go.
I said that at the time. I said that at the time. But as I said at the start of the show, bad habits, the habits of playing Tuesday, smashing a team, playing Saturday, losing or whatever. This is a good chance, Rich, to really send the same 11 out and get that consistency rolling, because can you do it again 4 days later? Can you go out and not win, 4-1 again, but win? Find a way to win. Find a way to get through it. Because as Matt just said a second ago, they could get injured on training. They could get injured picking their kids up. In fact, I think some player once did that, didn't he? Playing for Town.
Ian Marshall. Do you remember Ian Marshall? Ex-Town, obviously, ex-Oldham. He got injured doing his shopping, didn't he?
That's the one.
Trolley.
That's what I was thinking of. There you go. That's what I mean. So why not send out the same 11 tomorrow?
Yeah.
Look, I wouldn't be against if we turned up to do the show tomorrow and then the team come out at 2 and it was the same 11. I don't think it will be. I think there'll be quite a few in there who did play on Tuesday, but I don't think he'll play. You've got my 11. I think I did send it to you, Martin. I think he'll make some changes. I wouldn't change like the goalkeeper. Christian Walton needs to play. He's not been at the club long. I think he needs to be playing games. But like people like Bond, I wouldn't be playing Bond tomorrow. He'd be on the bench because he's played a lot of football, hasn't he? Played a lot of football. And Joe Piggott needs game time.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll put a few on the screen that we've received on the TT account. Mike D sent this in. We've got Haladki, Vincent Young, Wolfenden, Burgess, Penny, El Muzani, Evans, Aluko, Fraser, Edwards, Piggott. What do you make of that one then, Rich? Haladki's in goal. That's your first disagreement, surely.
No. Vincent Young won't play enough. I don't think Vincent Young's going to play 2 games in a short space of time. He's another one. He's had not a lot of football. He's had injury problems. We need to look after him. Played really well the other night. I'd play him Tuesday against Colchester. He'd get another game.
Okay, all right.
Lee Anderson's team will make you laugh, Matt, when you see who he's got in his team. You probably might have seen it. Have you seen it?
I've not seen it. No.
Oh, yeah,
Well, Lee's third on the list. Here is Ash Lewis for you, Matt, to look at. Haladki, Danasian, Wolfenden, Burgess, Penny, Morsey and Harper, Aluko, Selena. Would you be interested in seeing the Morsey and Harper partnership? See how that could play out? Because obviously Morsey's a solid player, holds the position. One of the main criticisms of the Harper and Evans duo was the lack of holder. Well, now you've got that in Morsey. Maybe you're not keen on that one.
I'm not sure about Harper. He's starting to annoy me.
Oh, okay, all right. Talk to me. Why?
Just like, well, I mean, my friend Chris warned us, didn't he? He blows hot and cold, Harper, and like, I don't know. It's just something about him just not right. It's sort of like, he's probably a bit of an enigma. We've said, didn't we? He was like, in the opening day of the season, he was like really good in the first half. We forgot he was on the pitch in the second half. I don't know. He just seems like a periphery player for me. I'd rather see El Mazzuni in there tomorrow.
I don't think he'll be picking up that Player of the Year award at the end of the season.
Martin, this is the problem. Martin put pressure on his shoulders. 5 minutes into that pre-season game with Palace, and Martin was going, he's going to be Player of the Year.
He annoyed me the other night, Matt, when he brought him on there towards the end. And I think the first 2 or 3 times he gave the ball away and in real poor areas, Harper. And I thought, he's not brought you on to do that.
No, exactly.
No?
I mean, he
Come on, Kelly. I'm not having it was a great assist for the 4th goal. The goalkeeper's out on the fucking halfway line.
Yeah.
He's hardly split the defence wide open, has he?
It's just like, for me with Harper, it's one of these players, and Chris said, he's got all the potential in the world. He's got linked to Juventus. He's got linked to Celtics. He's got all the potential in the world. And then when he gets his opportunity, it's almost like he's not switched on. I don't get it, really. If he does start tomorrow, fair play. I hope he has a great game because I want to see him do good. But I've not seen it so far.
Okay, all right. We should have been that friendly. You'd have seen it then. Lee Anderson, this is what he's got. We've got Haladki in goal, Penny at left back, Burgess, Wolfenden, Danasian, Harper, Pigott, Elmazan. What's wrong with that one then, Rich?
Well, look who he's got playing up front.
James Norwood, top goal scorer last year.
Can't behave.
Well, he was.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, he was. He'll be nowhere near the 18 tomorrow.
It's got to be. If you're going to sit bomb down, I'm going to say drop it. You're going to rest him. It's got to be Pigott, isn't it? It's got to be.
Lee knows his football.
A Lou Barry sighting.
Lee knows his football. Yeah, he's got Pigott playing in the number 10. Nonsense.
I don't like this. Who's going to take responsibility in a kind of like, getting stuck in between Harper and Mazzuni? I don't see that happening. There.
We've got just be sent one by Duncan. Duncan's got Haladki, Danasian.
Got love for Haladki, isn't there?
Enciala, Edmondson, Vincent Young. He's got Morsey and Evans. He's got a more or less an unchanged lineup, but except Danasian and Haladki are coming in. Is that more in line with what sort of thing you were thinking of with the changes?
I think if you're gonna keep some of the players from Wickham, it's got to be the defensive end, which is where we've struggled because we haven't struggled with scoring goals, have we?
No.
So I feel like you've probably got to keep Walton and maybe 2 centre halves and whoever might be right and left back. I feel like that's probably where the foundation of the team's going to be. That's where we've had the most issues. Why not keep giving them competitive games? It's pretty
People asking in the chat about the red button. The game's not on the red button tomorrow. You can't watch it.
It's got to be there.
You've got to be there. Hence why I'm there.
Yeah.
So who's in goal for both of you? You both agreeing with it's Walton?
I'd go with Walton.
Yeah, Walton needs to play another game.
Colin thinks Walton's one of our best keepers in ages. That's what he texted me the other night.
Yeah, he's not alone.
I don't know if that's counting Bielkowski. I don't know.
It's not. I've had people trying to tell me recently that he's on the level of Bielkowski. I'm not
seen enough of him. He's played 5 games. He's an improvement. He played really well the other night. That was his best performance so far.
It's a great save at Wickham. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but it's one save still.
Yeah. So, I get it. And
back 4 then. Who's at right back?
He had 5 against him at Bolton, didn't he? Which wasn't the greatest of debuts, but yeah, keep giving him games.
So right back, is it going to be is Danasian fit enough? Even if he is, do you risk him again after illness?
Yeah.
And missing 2? Is it Danasian? Is it for you, Matt?
If he's fit enough, playing absolutely. Like I say, I feel like the defence is where we've struggled, so that's where we need to just build that platform of foundation. So if Danasian's fit there, give him a go. Yeah, absolutely.
Steph says Holy in goal tomorrow. Hey, played a right back for Cambridge by all accounts, but if you play him, you then cup time, and that could obviously risk.
Is he back now then?
Yeah, he's only a 7-day one.
7-day emergency loan. But if you play him in the FA Cup, he's cup side. So any more emergency loans comes up, that obviously. So you probably wouldn't maybe see him. Rich, is it Donation at right back for you?
Yeah, nailed on. If he's fit, you could play him at left back. You could play KVY right back. But I think if he's fit, he's missed the last two, like Matt said. I think he probably needs a game. So I'd play him, and then KVY plays on Tuesday.
This will give us. Sorry, mate.
He's not there tomorrow.
He's not. No.
He was invited by the club, but the club didn't ask him until Wednesday. Now they've known the draw for about 2 or 3 weeks. Why are they asking someone on Wednesday? Because I see on his Twitter he's got something on. He would like to have been there, and I'm thinking that's poor from the club. That is poor.
It just seems like a Cruncher rant fest about the club these days. You know what I mean?
Well, that's where
angry man yells at Sky.
That's when you've got people around the club that don't know the history. Did someone just work out? Oh, Ian Marshall played for both. Let's invite him. It's Wednesday, last minute. That's last minute, isn't it?
Last minute. Yeah, that is a way of I do shows sometimes. We need a guest.
I was going to say this now leads to a conundrum we'll have this time next week. Donation or KVY to start against Oxford.
KVY.
There you go. Now, Donation ain't really got a foot wrong, but KVY was great against.
Donation left back.
Centre halves then tomorrow, Matt. Is that going to be Edmondson and
I'm talking about foundations. I might just bring Burgess back because I think he done well when he came on against Wickham Tuesday.
Do you keep him at left back?
Maybe. Certainly a presence at left back. We were talking the other week, weren't we? He's almost a Herman Hreiderson like, isn't he?
Dan Harding like.
Yeah. Dan Harding. Yeah. He had quite a good career when he left us, didn't he?
He did.
I thought he was a bit flannel at the time, but there you go.
He was a big old tough boy, big old strong, tall boy, and not the greatest going forward. You have to have felt.
He didn't like a 50-50, Dan Harding, did he?
He was no Graham Harvey, was he, Matt?
Yeah, Graham Harvey. Look him up if you're too young for Graham Harvey. Look him up.
So if it's Burgess,
maybe Burgess and Enciala. Maybe give.
So who's left back?
I was toying with the idea of maybe playing KVY over there just to see if he can, he's not played there since he was at Colchester. I did think maybe play him over there. It's going to be him or Penny, I guess, isn't it?
Do you not go with more of a penny game crunch, get some confidence back in the boy?
You put Wolford at right back and you put Donation over on the left, like Rich said. I mean, Donation, you can play either, can't he?
I'm playing Penny tomorrow. I've got an update on Coulson. Just bruising on his knee, so he's gone back up north, and I think he's seeing the Middlesbrough medical people over the weekend. So which is good. No ligament damage, which is good because it was a real hard tackle that was. And I was thinking he's been a bit unlucky, hasn't he? Because he's just come back in the team. And
loan signings will always go back to their parent club if they're injured.
So let's hope he can make a speedy recovery and get back in the team and play a run of games.
Yeah, hope so.
Mike D, let Penny gain some confidence. Is it Crunch?
Does Penny need confidence though?
I think he plays tomorrow. It's a no-brainer for me. Penny's your left back tomorrow.
I don't look. Penny's like hot, we were talking about hot and cold earlier. He's hot and cold across the 45 minutes. I don't think he's ever going to change. So I don't think he probably needs any confidence. He just gives the ball way cheaply for me. That's the only issue I've got.
All right, it's still 2-0 in the Colchester United game.
I need 3-0.
Hey, on the screen is the on matchday's pre-game show that the mini cruncher comes up, gives his onions about Thomas Holy, just on the TV screen, just on the TV, wearing a Sudbury hat. I think when I look at it, look at that mini cruncher getting about.
A mini cruncher's at Sudbury.
No, not his actual mini crunchers. No, the young lad that comes up and says, "I think Thomas Holy should be in goal every pre-game."
Oh, I know the young lad.
He's he's a cruncher in training.
Love that.
I'm sure I've just seen him come on the iPlayer screen.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. There you go. You see, town fans getting around.
Yeah. Good.
Is it 4-2-3-1 tomorrow? If it is, who's the two holding players?
Tricky, this isn't it? Is Carroll fit? Could we see Carroll back in the?
I don't think so. He's disappeared, isn't he?
I think you'll see El Mazzuni play tomorrow. That's one of my things. Maybe Mazzuni and Morsey.
Okay.
When he's captain, I would have thought.
Crunch.
I'm going Morsey and Evans. Just keeping it.
Keep it the same, yeah.
Keeping it as it is. I think he might change one of them, maybe. I think Evans might not play. I think El Mazzuni might come in for him, but I'd stick with both of them too.
Sorry, I'm just looking for Tom Carroll. I'm sure I've seen him around a football club once upon a time.
Somewhere. I've forgotten about him.
Tom Carroll's got to be. I mean, literally had a hip flexor. Never seen again.
Hip flexor.
You know.
Yeah.
I love
honestly,
that.
where come on. What's he needed?
What was the game El Mazzuni played in? It was the Cambridge game, wasn't it? I thought he did all right in that.
He did, but where's Tom Carroll gone?
Yeah.
I never heard of a hip flexor until Mick come along. And he kept saying he's got a hip flexor.
Hip flexor, yeah.
There's hip flexors, and then there's needing a new hip. Which one is it? Because the length of time that he's been out, I think he's like, does he need a new one? Like, where is he?
Yeah.
Where is he? If anyone knows where Tom Carroll is, let us know.
Ben Moore's made a good point there. What happened to Cameron Humphreys? He was around the scene at pre-season, right?
Matt Ward has just won as promotional Football Manager to the Premier League. So,
okay.
Yeah, little dynamo he is. Owen Carroll's took Emmy Hughes' spot.
Yes.
In the land of nowhere.
Yeah.
Who's the three behind the striker then? Would you play Selena tomorrow, particularly with international duty robbing us of him against Oxford? I don't
know about you, Rich. I'd bring Chaplin back in a 10 or maybe try and find a spot for Fraser. We were saying on the phone, weren't we, Tuesday night? He's not had much football, has he, Fraser?
Yeah. I've got Selena in the 10 because, like Martin says, he's not here next week. He won't have a game for...
It annoys me. We can't... So Selena could be missing for Oxford, right?
Is missing for Oxford.
He is.
Why are you hamstrung by that? That even one call-up, the game should be off for me.
Well, I agree.
Saying that, I'd just like to make a point, Wickham, I think Wickham made a massive error calling that game off against us because we weren't playing very well then. Yeah. They had 3 players, I think, who were under 21s players and called the game off.
Yeah. Error.
Yeah.
Massive error.
Well, it's about errors. Portsmouth have got to play Wickham without their goalkeeper, which some would say, having watched the Portsmouth game, that might not be a bad thing. But your number one goalie is going away international duty, and you've got to play a game without him. That seems a little bit unfair, doesn't it?
He's a lone player. They knew that when they signed him.
Yeah, but still, it doesn't matter. As Matt says,
Bazunu.
Yeah, Gavin Bazunu. Yeah.
I think you've got to have 3 call-ups for the game to be off. 3 call-ups for a League One or 2 side. Pretty big. They're going to be your pivotal players, aren't they?
Rich, you say that, but yet Cambridge have got 1 goalkeeper. They had 2 goalkeepers. They sent 1 out on loan to have 1 and a youngster, knowing they could make advantage of the emergency goalkeeper rule. Well, surely you know that when you send the guy out on loan to get minutes. So you're having your cake and eating it twice.
It was like Lincoln last year. Lincoln done exactly the same thing. And then in the playoffs, they got the lad who's now the Stoke goalkeeper.
Bursick, wasn't it?
And that was about, I think that was his 3rd loan of the season. They signed him on an emergency. But that was I thought that was a little bit unfair. Who did they play in the playoffs? They played Sunderland, didn't they? Yeah, Lincoln played Sunderland. Because he was a better goalkeeper, that Bursick, than probably their first choice goalkeeper was anyway. So they bent the rules there. But look, if you're signing a goalkeeper on loan, Martin, who's an international, and you're going to miss him when you've got him that, that's the rules. Just get on with it.
I hate playing in the international weekends. I hate it. So tin pot. It's tin pot. Yeah. You got them up the road who aren't going to be playing, and you'll probably get, like one of the Talk Norwich City lads will come in the away end and vlog it again, like he did was that West Brom at home? He did that. Do you remember that one?
3-0. There you go, Matt. We got 3-0. Come on, you could get 3 points here.
How long to go? I said 3-0. How long to go? Blow that whistle.
71 minutes.
There'd be another goal in that, I reckon. I don't agree with anything that weakens your side, which is out of your control, like an injury, right? Okay, fair enough. But to be called up internationally and then have to play a game without a pivotal player in League 1 and 2. So these are going to be your best players, aren't they? Because they're being internationally called up. I just think it's stupid.
I agree. So Selena behind the striker. Who's the 2 wingers then for you, Rich?
I've got a Luco on the right, and then I'm playing Scott Fraser on the left.
See, wouldn't you go with what Mike D was to say a second ago, saying if Sneer's not available for Oxford, why play him tomorrow? Get Fraser or Chaplin in.
I like that thinking.
Yeah, maybe, but I'm just looking at tomorrow. Tomorrow's a game to win. Don't look too far ahead. Just win the next game.
Okay.
I tell you what, Mick was a master. Mick McCarthy was a master at pulling players out of international call-ups. I remember, I think it was Teddy Bishop got called up for one of the England youth sides. And like the guy who was announcing the squad goes, "Oh, Matt, look, we've got an Ipswich player in here, Bishop." I was like, McCarthy won't let him go travel for that. I don't know, it was in Europe somewhere. And we pulled him out with shin splints. We should do that with Selena. Well, he's not been well over the summer. Bring him back.
Mike Fisherman. Jesus, round pegs, please, Cruncher.
Yeah, but he doesn't play as a wide player, Mike. He plays inside on the left. If you actually went to the game, you might actually see it live. I know you're watching on iFollow, but actually get to a game. You could go Tuesday, Mike. You told me, Mike, the fisherman, said he could do Tuesday games. Will you be there Tuesday against Colchester?
I'm not going to be there on Tuesday. Fuck that.
Don't make excuses saying you're on the bank.
I'll be iFollowing that with Stephen Neal.
Yeah,
that's what I'll be doing. I'm not turning up to clap to Luke Chambers for 90 minutes. Fuck that for a game of soldiers. Right. Scott Fraser, though, is one of the best number 10s. That's all I'm going to say. We're not playing him in the number 10. Who's up front then?
It's got to be Pickett, hasn't it? It's got to be, I think. You got, like Rich said, I think Rich said last week, didn't it? You'd have played him in the 3 games, wouldn't you? Would have played him in that Wickham game. You'd play him tomorrow and again against Colchester.
Yeah, he needs football, Matt, because like I said, somewhere along the line, we're going to need him, aren't we? I seen him the other night when he came out and he looked... He signed a couple of autographs, got on the bus, and he looked fed up. And I'm thinking, I know it's a team game, and he's probably happy that we got the 3 points, but he's not happy that he's not playing, and he's probably not going to play anytime soon in the league. So he needs to these 2 games, make the most of that opportunity. He's
gone from being the big fish in the little pond at Wimbledon just being a squad player, basically, for us.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, it's not like we're playing Ollie Hawkins here. This is a guy who scored 20-plus goals last season for Wimbledon. So give him a go. Just give him a go. See how he gets on.
All right. Last thing to do before we round up is score predictions then for the Ian Marshall derby. What are we going to be going for? I've just had a message from my scout who's watching the Colchester United game. Not really a scout, but I will call her one. Dobra's still trying to do everything by himself. He needs to learn it's a team game. That's the match report on Armando Dobra. For those that are keeping track at home, shame he's not scored tonight, but there we go. What do we think the score's going to be for tomorrow? Rich.
3-0.
3-0. 5-0 says Rob Smith. And Rob is pretty good at the old prediction league for those that want to know about predictions. He's riding high, top of the table. So when Rob says about a prediction, listen. 5-0, he says. Matt, what do you think?
5-0. Now I'm going to go with... I actually agreed with Rich. I was thinking 3. They've got some good players. They've got Hallam Hope Oldham, who's played for Everton. He was in that Everton mix. If you ever watched
he plays centre back. Was it Salford?
Yeah, if you ever watched Class of '92, Carl Piergiani, I think he's their captain, blonde-haired guy. Look out for him. But they've been struggling, haven't they? I mean, look, even if we put out this so-called B team, we should be beating them 3-0 minimum, I think. Yeah.
Okay, we've got 3-0 Ant Still, who's also pretty good at the prediction league. 3-0 Chris McBain, 5-0 from the Goat, 5-0 from Josh Russell, 7-0 from the Fisherman, 4-0 says Louis Fenton, 4-0 says Matt Stannard, Ben says keep Dobber at Colchester, Harry says 4-1 at Town, and Ben Moore says 3-1 Town. So a positive score predictions there. Going back to the start of the show, do we want to reveal who this is then?
Who is it?
Who is it?
There was a couple of people in the chat got it too quickly, so they're disqualified. Ben Moore, you've been on social media, you know who it was. He's not quite got the same hairline now, has he?
Well, not quite, no. Not quite.
He said, I think Mike's line is, I'm a natural stunner. So it was the Fisherman.
Brilliant.
Fisherman. That's it, Emerson. You got it. The Fisherman. Mike D, Rick Holding, and Peter Begreen. Colin Plum says 1976.
They're great shots, Mike. They're absolutely brilliant. I love it.
There you go.
And there he is. There we go. So, as we've said, we'll be live tomorrow from the Sir Ralph Ramsey statue. 1:50, as always. We'll be there from about 1:30, so do stop by and say hi. With or without the cameras, you can say hi to us all. We're all knowledgeable friendly, approachable. Well, apart from Rich, some of us are approachable people. And then we're live immediately after the game at Sir Ralph Ramsey for the full-time fans react. Where are we sitting for the game then, guys? Which stand are we sitting in?
We're in the
Magnus.
What's the sponsor now?
Magnuson, isn't it? Or Magnus?
Magnus.
We're in the middle section, Block
Pioneer.
I.
Block I, we're in. Matt was asking earlier. We're in Block I. We're on the same row, aren't we? Mine's a few seats down.
Yeah, but we can shift around. He can come and sit with us.
Yeah, we'll shift it around if we can.
So, do you know this? Come on, you know this person is.
My God, it's the governor.
Let him in.
I'll say with respect, move. But we'll see. Yeah, absolutely. We've got Ben Moore. You try sitting at college with fuck all to do, Crunch.
Well, what are you doing at college, Ben Moore?
Well,
you're there to learn.
Social media is what he's doing at college, isn't it? It's literally what he's doing. Anyway, we're back
Education.
tomorrow. It's been a real pleasure, as always, gentlemen, sharing this Friday night with you. We'll sign off with your lovely boots, with Colchester winning 3-0, and hopefully Town winning an FA Cup game. That will be. Oh, that's where Matt is as well.
We'll see you there.
We'll see you there. Absolutely.
Matt Phillips, 3 points incoming. We've got 14 minutes to go.
Come on.
Oh, maybe. Hold on. But until then, here's the Mogul. Here's the Cruncher. This is Talking Town. And if you are going tomorrow, do stop by and say hi, but maybe get there on one of our partners' luxurious buses. Ipswich Buses, your local bus company serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich Buses today. A single £1.20, a return only £2. Find out more information at www.ipswichbuses.co.uk. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talking Town.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like